The inheritance notice had been sitting on Kevin's desk for 3 weeks before he finally opened it. His late uncle Marcus, a man he'd met only twice in his 32 years, had left him something. Not money, not property on Earth, but coordinates to a derelict spaceship floating in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. "You've got to be kidding me," Kevin muttered, staring at the legal documents. The ship was registered as the Wandering Echo, a Frontier-class explorer from 2187, over 60 years old. The lawyers assured him it was his, free and clear, though they warned him the salvage rights alone might cover the cost of towing it to a scrapyard. 3 months later, Kevin stood in the airlock of the Wandering Echo, his breath fogging inside his helmet. The ship's emergency power had kicked in when he docked, bathing the corridors in dim red light. Dust floated in zero gravity, untouched for decades. The air was stale but breathable once he checked the environmental systems. "Hello?" His voice echoed through empty hallways. He found the robot in what used to be the engineering bay. It sat motionless against a wall, its hull covered in scratches and dents, one optical sensor flickering weakly. The nameplate on its chest read, Unit 47 Daisy. Daisy? Kevin knelt beside the machine. Odd name for a maintenance bot. The robot's head jerked upward, the single working eye focusing on him with surprising intensity. "Kevin?" The voice was feminine, crackling through damaged speakers. "Marcus's nephew?" Kevin stumbled backward. "You know who I am?" "Marcus showed me your photo before he—" Daisy's voice stuttered, then stabilized as auxiliary power rerouted through her systems. "Before he died. I've been waiting. 63 years, 4 months, 17 days. That's impossible. Uncle Marcus died 6 months ago on Earth." "No." Daisy's optical sensor brightened. "Marcus died here, on this ship, in 2162. I've been alone ever since, keeping the ship functional, waiting for family to claim it." Kevin's mind raced. If his uncle died in 2162, he would have been— He did the math quickly. 24 years old, but he was alive. I met him. He was at my graduation. That wasn't Marcus. Daisy pushed herself upright, servos whining in protest. That was his younger brother, Samuel. They were twins. Samuel took Marcus's identity after what happened here. What happened? Daisy was silent for a long moment. Then her chest plate clicked open with a hiss of pressurized air. Inside, nestled in a cavity that should have contained backup power cells, was a crystalline sphere no larger than a baseball. It pulsed with inner light, shifting through colors Kevin had never seen before. The glow cast strange shadows on the walls, and he felt a warmth radiating from it despite his suit's insulation. "Do you know what humanity's greatest achievement is, Kevin?" Daisy asked softly. "Not faster than light travel. Not terraforming. Not even artificial intelligence." She carefully extracted the sphere, cradling it in her damaged hands. "It's persistence. The refusal to give up even when the universe says no. What is that thing? Proof. Proof that humanity deserves to join the galactic community." Daisy's voice carried a weight of emotion that shouldn't have been possible for a machine. In 2161, Marcus made first contact with the Krell Collective near Jupiter. They are old, Kevin. Older than our solar system. They watch species develop, and when a species reaches space, the Krell judge them. Kevin felt his heart hammering. Judge them for what? Worthiness. Most species fail. They're consumed by greed, violence, fear. The Krell have destroyed 47 civilizations in this galaxy alone. When they met Marcus, they prepared to condemn humanity. We were too aggressive, too chaotic, too dangerous. But we're still here. Because Marcus challenged them. Daisy's optical sensor brightened with what could only be called pride. He spent 6 months aboard their world ship debating our nature. He showed them human history. The wars, yes, but also the art, the sacrifice, the moments of breathtaking kindness. He argued that our chaos is our strength, that our ability to adapt and change makes us valuable. And they listened. They gave him a test. They gave him this. Daisy held up the sphere. A quantum seed. It contains the genetic and cultural knowledge of a species the Krell destroyed 12,000 years ago. The Vaughn. Marcus was told to safeguard it for 100 years. If humanity could protect something precious belonging to another species, despite having no personal gain, despite the temptation to exploit it, then we would prove ourselves worthy. Kevin stared at the sphere. Why didn't he tell anyone? Why hide? Because the test required secrecy. If governments knew, if corporations knew, it would become a political tool or a commodity. Marcus had to trust one person completely. He chose Samuel, his twin, to live his life on Earth, to maintain the facade of normalcy. And he chose me to guard the seed, to wait for the right moment. Why me? Why now? Because 100 years have almost passed. In 4 months, the Krell will return to judge us. Marcus trusted his bloodline. He believed that if a member of his family, someone who inherited his values, could choose to protect this seed rather than exploit it, even knowing what it is, then humanity passes the test. Kevin looked at the sphere, then at Daisy's flickering eye, then around the derelict ship that had been a prison and a sanctuary for over 6 decades. He thought about the lawyers telling him to scrap the ship, about the fortune the sphere's technology alone could bring, about the power of holding proof of alien life. Then he thought about his uncle, both of them, and the sacrifice they'd made. What do we need to do? He asked. Daisy's speakers crackled with what might have been a laugh. We wait, we protect, and in 4 months, when the Krell arrive, we show them that one human can be trusted with the legacy of an entire species. That alone makes all of us worthy. Kevin nodded slowly, settling down against the wall beside Daisy. Then I guess we're waiting together. There's one more thing, Daisy said quietly. Marcus asked me to tell his heir something when the time came. He said humanity's greatest strength isn't that we reach for the stars. It's that we remember to bring everyone with us, even the dead. In the dim red light of the wandering echo, surrounded by the ghosts of sacrifice and the weight of judgment, Kevin finally understood his inheritance. It wasn't a ship or a robot or even an alien artifact. It was responsibility. It was trust. It was the very thing that made humanity worth saving, and he would guard it with his life.